Hello everyone and welcome back to another week. Today, look, I'm just fitting new lights here to the front of the 110 because these weren't working and they were gone very discoloured, so I'm just changing these two lights. There was actually no plug on this side. Someone had joined the wires previously and cut the plug off, so we are going to solder a new connection on here that'll be trouble free for a very long time to come. So that's what we're going to do now. Since I got my Milwaukee soldering gun, I'm only looking for excuses to go soldering things. So yeah, that's what we're at here now. I'll stick the camera up here, you'll be able to see it going on. So basically what you're doing is you're trying to heat up your wires and get them good and hot, and just dip your solder onto the wires then once you have them fairly hot. But and my battery's fairly low on this. I hope I have enough battery to get it to heat this one up anyway, and we can be joining this one. But we've quite a thickness of wire to get through there, so it is going to take a bit of time for that to heat up fully. There we go, we're getting there now. Right, so that's one joint soldered, and as you can see, you cannot pull them apart. A brilliant job. So we'll put some heat shrink over that now to protect it, and once we give that a bit of a heat of the MAP gas, that'll shrink down to the size of the plastic coating that's already on the wires. So we'll wrap up another wire here now. And again, the same process, just heat up the wire. And once the wire gets fairly hot, then we'll be able to dip our solder onto it, and that'll do the job. I used to have just plug-in soldering irons and that kind of stuff, and I could never really manage it. It always just didn't work out for me. But since I got this Milwaukee one, it seems to be very easy. It seems to get a lot hotter, a lot faster, and also you have that fine point as well, which is works very good for soldering small little things or bits onto circuit boards or any of that kind of carry on, you know. Nearly there, I would say. Just really the most awkward thing about soldering is trying to hold. You want about 5 hands for the times, but obviously this one isn't too bad. I need to let that heat a bit more. Right, so the very first filter we normally check is on top of the lift pump here, and I just have him out and he's absolutely spotless. So we'll go from him down onto the feed into the filter housing, which is here. We'll rip him, see if we have any debris, then we'll change our filter, and then we'll go to the other side and change our rubber diesel filter. But that's always, we always check them on them, see if we're losing any or if because it's a very fine gauze, so we check if they're blocked up. Right, so our banjo is totally blocked. It's a very, very common thing in the sisus. Many CVX has thrown up a lot of error codes over that. So we'll just clean it out. It's amazing this yoke is even staying going with the amount of gunk that's in there. Pure tar. We'll clean it out, and we have our filter already changed. So once we get all that stuff out of there, should be fairly good again. Might take the hose off the banjo even and blow it out if I think necessary, but so we're getting it all there now. Right, so our banjo is totally blocked. It's a very, very common thing in the sisus. Many CVX has thrown up a lot of error codes over that. So we'll just clean it out. It's amazing this yoke is even staying going with the amount of gunk that's in there. Pure tar. We'll clean it out, and we have our filter already changed. So once we get all that stuff out of there, should be fairly good again. Might take the hose off the banjo even and blow it out if I think necessary, but so we're getting it all there now. Right, so I'm just tapping it up here of engine oil. I've changed the engine oil. I'm leaving the front axle oil drain away out over there now at the minute, but we've all our diesel filters changed. The 2 diesel filters are changed, and as you see now, I'm blocking the blockage. So I'd say once we get her going now, she should be running an awful lot better. Not that she was running bad to begin with, but you'd imagine she'd have an awful lot more power when that blockage is gone out of her. So I'll stay at this 14 litres of oil these take, so I'll tap her up fully. I changed the coolants as well there one night. I was at it, but I'm going to make a drive now and probably finish her this evening and get her done with, and yeah, that'll be her pretty much ready to go. Right, so I'm just taking off the main hydraulic filter bowl here, and behind it we have our Jesus, what am I have to do now? Behind it we have there's a filter there on the line, and then we have another screw-on filter, so I'm going to change the 2 of them as well while we're here. I have our oil drained out of the transmission, but yeah, I'll just whip this off. Always a bit of a nervous time taking off back in filters for me, because I've seen some surprises over the years, but we'll hope there's no surprises today. I don't think there's going to be anyway. So we'll know now in a few seconds. Once I get out of here, we'll give a look into the filter bowl. Right, so thankfully no surprises. I've cleaned this lead now because there was just a bit of, shall we say, oil sitting around in it, and we wanted to get a good look, but with no steel inside there, thankfully. And this lead, we're changing this lead, but we're not changing this guy. Funnily enough, when I get filter kits, this fella never comes in them, so maybe he's never ever changed or what, I don't know, but he just basically sits up on top of the filter, and as you can see, bar a bit of dirt there when I was taking him off, he is absolutely perfect. He's probably washable, I'd imagine, and usually when they're steel like that you can wash them, so that's probably why he doesn't come in any filter kits. But we'll just pop him on the new filter, pop the whole lot back up, and away we go. Hello everyone, we're just here spreading a bit with the trail and tube. We were already here maybe a number of weeks ago. You would have seen us here, but ground conditions kind of got the better of us, and well, they're going to get the better of us here now again. I have to back off of this hill. That was pretty silly of me now, wasn't it? Anyway, I'll straighten out this and we'll get going from the other side. But anyway, we got out of that handling. Anyway, ground conditions have just improved slightly, so we're able to walk away again, but only barely, only just. So like if it makes, it's supposed to rain, it's actually supposed to be raining now, and if it rains tonight and it rains tomorrow, just forget about it again, which is going to be very annoying because there's a lot of it to get out, and the year is shoving on now too, sure. We're into March now, and it won't be long before it all kicks off again. But anyway, look, we'll plug away, we'll get as much as we can out, but everybody is full. Everybody is full of slurry, so it's kind of a bit of a concern for a lot of lads there, kind of really hoping for a bit of good weather until they get the slurry out. So this is going to be a tight squeeze. I better concentrate on what I'm doing here now, getting through this one. Will we fit? We will. Yeah, we're through. Yeah, people are utilising their slurry an awful lot this year as well. Kind of, a lot of us going out with the trailing shoe, I suppose, opposed to just splashing it and lighter rates and all that kind of thing. But anyway, today our 6290 Massey is sold, and hopefully it's very good for the new owner. So that tractor's gone now, and also we have another surprise coming. We have another tractor coming, and you will probably have seen that on Facebook if you watch our Facebook page. There's a couple of pictures that up there if you want to see it. Right, so I'm gone on to the next job now. We're actually here with splash blades as well. They're spreading over there. This is a very, very big field, but as you can see, the tide comes in an awful long way here. It's just coming maybe 30, 40 feet below us. The tide actually comes in as far as, so when I am spreading here, I tend to stay up a bit. But obviously we don't want slurry inside in the sea. But there is a lot of ground here. I think there's 70 or 80 acres, but a lot of it is very, it's a very hard place to describe. You could be going along perfectly with no four-wheel drive on, and the next second you could just sink, and a couple of feet in front of you again could be absolutely solid. So it's a sort of a dangerous place. You really need to be careful spreading here, and pick and choose your spots where you do go and where you go. Now we know all this section is more or less perfect, but especially over on the far side, you need to be careful. We won't get there spreading slurry. We know it's just going to be too wet, but in the spring they're spreading fertilizer and stuff like that. You just really need to be careful and pick your spots. But it's going to be an interesting comparison for us, because in the same field here now there'll be some splash blade spreading and some trail and shoe. I would be spreading with my splash blade, but I didn't have it on the tanker, so obviously I couldn't. But other than that, I just used the splash blade. But it's going to be interesting to see, is there any difference in the grass growth between the two when they're right next to each other inside in this field. So I'll stay spreading away, I'll stay motoring, and we'll chat to you soon.